Today on Bernadette TV, how to solve your empty calendar syndrome once and for all. Hello and welcome to Bernadette TV, online TV to help you be the best you can be in your business and your life. And today we're covering how to solve your empty calendar syndrome once and for all. You know, many of the people that I help are people who are selling their time. So I work with people like consultants, coaches, therapists, and one of the issues that they present to me over and over is, Bernadette, I suffer from feast and famine. Sometimes I can have really busy weeks or months, and other times it's like the calendar's empty, but the trouble is, if I don't get the bookings, I don't get paid. Well, the good news is you don't have to suffer with feast or famine. If you can relate to this challenge, there are 4 simple things that you can do that, if you do them consistently, will solve your empty calendar syndrome once and for all. So step number 1, you have to make a consistent commitment to growing your prospect database. You know, when I started out in sales years ago, the model of prospecting was that you'd approach a prospect, and if they didn't want to buy, then you just moved on. The trouble is there's a lot of waste with that. And very early on when I started my own business, I was introduced to the idea of get people to raise their hands and then follow up consistently with that smaller group of people who've expressed an interest. And now, almost 20 years on, there is honestly no better thing that you can do in your marketing to make sure that you have a consistent flow of new business coming into you. So, how might you grow your prospect list? Well, the good news is there are many, many ways to grow your prospect list. But first of all, you have to get into your mindset the idea that every single thing that you do, day in, day out, you want to be asking yourself, how can I use this to grow my list? So, for example, let's say one of the things that you do is you write an article for a local publication or a trade magazine. These are things that I did when I was starting out. What you want to do at the end of those articles is always invite people to something that will encourage them to raise their hands, to make themselves known to you so you can grow your list that way. Or maybe you give talks. Well, don't just give a talk and expect people to come up at the end and say, that was fantastic, can I hire you? Or can I book a session with you? Whenever you give a talk, always give people a reason to raise their hands. Offer them something that you can give them in exchange for their contact details. And actually right now, there is a link on this screen which will take you to a video that I did especially about getting business from talks. So those are just a couple of the things that you can do to grow your list, but you want to have an attitude of constantly growing your prospect database. Okay, now the second thing that you can do is to create something that makes it really easy for people to sample you and what you have to offer at low risk. So I also like to think of this as like, if the person that you want to sell to is on the dock and you're on the boat, you would lower an on-ramp to make it easy for them to get on board. That's how I like to think about something like this. So it doesn't have to be something that's free. It could be something that's a lower cost experience. So for example, I have some therapists who are in my coaching programs at the moment, and what they do is they offer people an initial session at a lower price, and then when that person comes in, they have a model in place to upsell them into a package of sessions. More about that in just a moment. Or I know someone else who was selling to businesses, and he was a trainer going in to do communication skills training, and he noticed that many of his companies were hesitating about saying yes. So to make it easy for them to say yes, he said, do you know what? I will come in for half a day to work with your team, and you can see how I work and if this is going to work, and then if you want more, we can book a series of days. So both of those are examples of making it easy for your prospects to sample you at lower risk. Now, just in case you're thinking, oh, but Bernadette, I tried that and it doesn't work. Here's why it doesn't work, because you can't do step number 2 without also doing step number 3. And step number 3 is to convert first-time buyers into repeat customers. So I can see many people out there making this mistake where they have that low entry offer for people to sample their service, but then they have no mechanism for converting that interest into ongoing repeat business. And you absolutely have to have this in place. So for example, I know of a massage therapist who will do an initial session, and then at the end of that session, she upsells her clients into a package of 6 sessions. Now just think about the difference that makes. Suddenly, instead of having people come on a one-off basis, she is sold up front and being paid up front for a package of 6 sessions. And the truth is, this means better results for your clients, it supports your cash flow, it means that you can work with them longer, and you can really support them in getting the results they want. So you want to have something that you can move those first-time buyers into, and then you need to have a system in place so that you can upsell them. And that actually means having the conversation and talking to them about how they continue working with you. And then finally, step 4, you want to have systems in place for recapturing lapsed customers. You know, many people, especially if you've been in business for any amount of time, there are probably many people who previously have bought from you, but somehow have fallen off your active customer list. If you have a systematic way of getting in touch with those people and encouraging them back, that is business that's right under your nose every single week, every single month. All that's required from you is to reach out to them. Now, you'll notice that I use the word system there, because to me, the word system stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. And a true system happens without you having to think about it. So if right now, your only way of getting in touch with lapsed customers is that you think about it and you go, oh, I must email them or I must pick up the phone, it's never going to work, because the moment you get busy or you get distracted by other things, you're going to forget to do that. So you want to make this systematic and ongoing. So it could be 1st of March, or 1st of April, or 1st of every month, we have a postcard that we send out to all past clients with some special offer to get them back on board. You know, once you've got a system in place, you don't even have to do it. You can hand that off to an assistant or someone else to manage for you. So there you go. Those are the 4 steps to guarantee you will never ever suffer from feast or famine, and it will solve your empty calendar syndrome once and for all. Let's just do a quick recap. Step 1, reach out and build your prospect database. Step 2, do whatever you need to do to get people sampling what you have to offer at a low risk and a low cost to them. Step 3, have a system in place for converting first-time buyers into repeat customers. And finally, step 4, put a system in place for winning back lapsed customers. Okay, that's it from me, but now it's over to you. I'd love to hear how you are affected by what I've just shared in this episode. Do you recognise that you may be doing 1 or 2 of these things, but there are other opportunities for you? Have you perhaps already implemented some of these systems and they're making a difference in your business? If so, come on over. We want to hear more about you. The conversation is continuing over at my blog, BernadetteDoyle.com, and I want to see you there and hear what you have to say about this week's episode. That's it from me, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Bernadette TV. My calendar's empty. Nobody